Hello. Okay, now that we have seen all the theory, we should first the foundations in which we saw that thoughts, feelings, and behavior are interlinked. By changing thoughts, we can help to change behavior. So, once that we have seen the theory, we are going to do to the practice, the activity. To do this activity, you need to think about any experience you have had with your teen, having a conversation or an argument. This could be done anytime. This could be done before thinking about an experience in which you never knew about the 4 techniques, or an experience after you have tried to use any technique, some techniques of the ones that we have seen about Alps. So it doesn't matter. You can use it for any situation in which you have had a conversation or an argument with your teen. Pause the video and think about any example, any situation recently in when you had a conversation and maybe you were feeling angry, etc. Think about it, pause the video, think about it, and when you have thought about it, then you can continue with the video. Thank you very much. Okay, St. Faro. This is an acronym that I use. A lighthouse doesn't save the ships. It doesn't go out and rescue them. It's just this pillar that helps to guide people home. Okay, Faro is a Spanish word that means lighthouse. St. Faro can be remembered like saint, like a saint, St. Faro. Faro is also a town, or you could think like Faro Street, but the acronym is called St. Faro, and it makes reference to 6 steps that you can use to reflect on your experience. St. Faro is an acronym to reflect on our experiences so that we can improve them, using the acronym ALPS to help the teens to think and behave. St. Faro stands for S, situation, T for thoughts, F for feelings, A for action, R for result, and O for other options. Okay. First, situation. For this activity, it's good for you to have some notebook and pen so that you can write it. Okay, the first is situation. So put in writing what happened in a recent conversation with your teen, how it started, how it continued, and how it finished. Now you are going to pause the video to do the activity, and when you have finished, you can continue with the next step. Thank you very much. Okay, now we are going to do the second step, that is thoughts, in the acronym of St. Faro. We did first to write about the situation, and now we are going to write the type of thoughts you had during that conversation with your teen. For example, maybe at some point you were thinking that he or she does not appreciate your hard work, or maybe that he or she is just thinking about himself or herself. You might realize that there were some thoughts that were making you angry, worried, sad, surprised, or happy. So, in this stage, you're just going to write some thoughts that were on your mind. Maybe about your teen, about yourself, about the situation, any type of thoughts. So, you are going to pause the video to write these thoughts, and then you can continue. Thank you very much. Okay, the third step is feelings. We have written about the situation, we have written about our thoughts, and now we're going to write the type of feelings that you had during that conversation. Maybe you were feeling worried, sad, disgusted, afraid, angry, surprised, happy. Write also why you were feeling this way. So now you are going to pause the video to write this type of feelings, and when you finish, you continue with the next step. Okay, well done. Once you have written the situation, your thoughts and your feelings, we are going to write about what things you did, what things you said, etc. What can you remember that happened in that situation? What did you do? Now, pause the activity to write these things, and when you finish, you will continue with the next step. Thank you very much. Okay, you have written about the situation, your thoughts, feelings, and what you did. Now, you are going to write about the results. You are going to write about what happened after what you did. What were the consequences? How did you feel? What happened? What your team did? Or what did you do? Or how did you feel? What happened? Okay. You are going to pause the video to write what happened after your action about what you did, and then you continue with the last step. Thank you very much. Okay. Now we are on the last step. Once that you have thought about the situation, your thoughts, feelings, what you did, and what happened after that, now you are going to think about other things that you could have done that could have produced a better result. To do this, you can revise the ALPS techniques to see if you could have used them in a helpful way to improve the conversation. Maybe you can think just about one of the techniques and think if maybe you could have done something like that. Also, you can think about what are the links between your thoughts and your emotions, your feelings that you wrote in this case. So, we are going to write exactly comparing with what you did, what other things you could have done, because other things could help you to have better results. You are going to pause the video to do this activity, and when you finish, we continue with the video, thinking something else about options. Thank you very much. Okay. St. Faro can be applied to situations in which you might feel angry, but then you could find other thoughts that make you feel better. For example, you thought that your son, in this hypothetical situation, your son or daughter was disobeying you by not coming home on time at 10 o'clock, and you felt angry and worried about it. However, you also could think that it was safer, and then you could feel better by thinking this, that he or she came at 11 with friends who live nearby, than if he or she would have come home earlier on his own. So even if they disobeyed, you could feel better because maybe you thought later that was safer. Okay. So we have seen the 6 steps to reflect on experience. In these experiences, maybe when the action, you could have used some of the tools that you have learned in ALPS, but you will learn by experience, and we learn by reflecting on our experiences. That's why we have seen the 6 steps, that you can write them and think about them, so when the type of situation comes again, you can use the techniques that you learned. To summarize the 6 steps, first is situation, where you write about some conversation that you had, maybe some argument. You write your thoughts, you write your feelings, and you write your actions, what you did. Then you write about the results, what were the consequences of your actions. And then you write about other things that you could have done to improve that situation. improve the results. Thank you very much.